This segment is sponsored by CeQur.
Managing mealtime insulin can be tough for those with diabetes, and Dr. Eduardo Luna, also known as Dusty, is here to share how CeQur is offering an injection-free game changer. I am so happy you are here and we're talking about this today.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, Texas has one of the highest diabetes rates in the country, correct?
Correct.
Why is that?
You know, I think a lot of it plays into the epigenetics. And what do I mean by epigenetics? I think when you think about the social factors, right? Financial constraints. Obviously in Texas we have some really good food, especially if you're in the South like I am, you know, but ultimately a lot of those decisions influence our patients and ultimately leads us to roughly 2.5 million Texans suffering from diabetes.
That is a large number of people, but luckily we have something that is making a huge difference we're going to talk about today. So for people with diabetes who require, let's say, mealtime insulin, what are their biggest challenges?
I think the biggest challenges is trying to get past the stigma. You know, unfortunately, a lot of patients, you know, view insulin as kind of a poor thing as far as, you know, leading to worse outcomes, and ultimately can really help our patients get better.
Okay.
So ideally trying to break through that barrier and being able to stay adherent and compliant with their regimens. If they're out with friends, they're out at a restaurant, you know, being able to give their insulin when they need for their mealtime.
Not having to run home or
Exactly.
change your plans. So you're here to talk about an injection-free option. It's called CeQur, right? CeQur Simplicity.
CeQur Simplicity.
You have brought it with you here.
Yes.
How does it work? And tell me why this is a game changer for so many people.
Absolutely. So with CeQur Simplicity, right, this simple patch, and I think we need to emphasize the fact that simplicity is the key word here, right? Because ultimately what we're doing here is using a mechanical way of being able to get away from technology. You know, we love technology. I mean, everyone on a cell phone, or you got, you know, grandma and grandpa using Facebook.
Right.
Just kidding, right? But ultimately being able to have this patch for a 4-day wear. Your insulin is going to be housed in the reservoir back here with a small little filament or catheter tip that goes underneath the skin.
Okay.
So these patients keep it adhered to the body for 4 days, and through a simple click, they're able to administer 2 units.
And that's that, no matter where you are.
No matter where you are. So if you're eating roughly about 2 to 3 times per day, you think about those injections over a 4-day period, you're saving yourself about 12 injections, 12 pokes in that time frame. And guess what? It makes it simple, allows these patients to have the flexibility. And if they're wearing it underneath their shirt, guess what? They can click over it. So it makes life really easy for these patients.
Oh, this is wonderful. And I'm sorry that it took this long to get something like this, but we have it now and it's available for people. So where can they go for more information? How do they, you know, get this in their lives?
Absolutely. More importantly, being able to have that open conversation, discuss with your primary care physician or your endocrinologist or whoever is prescribing you that insulin, right? But more importantly also, if they want to get more information, they can always go to the website at myseqursimplicity.com and they can find out that more information and open up that discussion, and don't be afraid to talk to your friendly physician.
Absolutely. And what do your patients say that use this?
I mean, it transforms their lives, right? They talk about, you know, not to play on the word simplicity, but it makes their life easy. They're able to acquire it and take one less burden off their daily plate, and I think that's always key.
Well, I love this, and I'm so happy that you were here today
Thank you for having me.
have educated us on this, Dusty.